So we've seen the window object rules everything. Well, let's see some of the properties that we can access on this window object. So let's open up the console as usual. And I'm just going to make this a bit smaller so you can see what's going on. Now, if I drag this console, right, narrower and wider, you'll notice there's some numbers on the screen. And that's showing you the width in pixels and the height in pixels of what the web page is, the website. And we can access these properties directly, which is an awesome thing. So the first thing I want to show you here is inner width and outer width. That's an interesting one. Inner width and outer width. How awesome is that? So this will show you the width inner and the width outer. What I mean by that, we'll have a look at this image quickly. So the red is the inner width and the purple is the outer width. The outer width includes those scroll bars and all of that. And back to our example, you've also got inner height and outer height. So let's try those. Window, inner height, window, outer height. Okay, and this is what I mean by these. Inner height, outer height. You've also got the screen object that's available via the window object, if that kind of makes sense. So within the window, you can access the screen. And that gives you access to another whole lot of other properties like left and top and all these things. So let's go screen top. It's 39 pixels. That's this little gap here. What about screen left? Screen left. That's this bigger area here. And here's a screen to explain what I mean. And what about the entire width of the screen and the entire height of your computer or laptop screen? Well, I'm going to introduce you to something else now quickly, and that's document. Remember how we had console.log and it just logs it to your console? Well, you've also got document and you can write your document. And remember what the document was? That was your actual HTML page. So let's go document.write, open parentheses, because this is a JavaScript function. And now let's write window screen width. And there you go. That's the width of my screen. And we can do the same with height. So now a quick pro tip is if you push the up arrow, it goes to your last written statement. So I don't have to write out the whole thing again. And now let's write out height. There you go. How awesome is that? So those are some useful commands with the window object and the screen object. But why would that be useful? Well, think about if you want to perfectly align a modal that pops up on a user screen, regardless of the device they're using. Well, you can use some of this and just mathematically always pick the center. So that's one example I can think of. A lot of this is fun. You can explore and try your hands at a few different things. Okay, so what other examples can I give you? Window open is a cool one. Window.open literally opens a new window. There's also one where we can move it around. Shall I show you? Maybe that is quite a cool example. So let's create a new variable and just call it my window. We can call it whatever we like. And let's now go window.open, and you're allowed to pass a few parameters to the window. The first one is a URL. In this case, we want it just to be no URL. The second one is features. We want 0 features. But now let's say we wanted a small window. So we want to do a width of 200 and a height of, let's say, 100. If I push enter, what's going to happen? It's going to open a new window. How cool is that? Now, let's say I want to move that window around. How would I do that? Well, we've got this variable called my window, which is why I did it in a variable. And we're going to get into variables in a lot more detail later. So let's go my window, because that's what we called it. And let's go move to. Move to. And let's just pick a random number. And now watch what happens when I push enter or return. Whoa, where'd it go? Probably moved it behind here. There it is. So it moved the screen. So these are just some fun things you can play around with on the window object. You know what else is really cool? You can also navigate history. So say we were on this page and now I went to Apple well, let's say we were at Google. And now let's say we navigated to Apple. Apple. Okay. What we can do is access the window object. And within that, they've got history, the history object. And we can go back. And Bob's your uncle, back at Google. There's also location. You can see the current web page URL. So if we go window and we access location object and we go href. There we go. Tells you that that's the page we're currently on. So you can see there's really some awesome stuff going on here. And I encourage you to go and explore. Feel free to Google some of this stuff and just get familiar with the window object. It's awesome. Enjoy.